Well, good afternoon. Um, I don't usually do reviews on trucks or much anything else on YouTube, but here we go. I'm going to review today my thoughts between the 2500 Dodge Ram with a 6.7 liter Cummins and a 68 RFE transmission and with the 342 gear set. I'm going to compare that against my new Dodge Ram 3500 dually pickup truck with the Asin transmission and the 373 gear set with the 6.7 liter diesel. Okay, so anybody can go online and look at them, and you can tell what they are. You know what a dually is. The gear sets, most of the gear sets with the RFE transmission, 68 RFE, is a 342. And oftentimes, if you go to get a dually pickup, the Dodge Ram 3500 will normally come with a 68 RFE transmission as well. The option is to get the Asin transmission, but most of them out there are coming out with the 68 RFE. So be very careful if what you're wanting is an Asin transmission, and make sure to get it. There's some speculation, a lot of dealers are lying about it. Well, it just happens to be most of the trucks on dealer lots are equipped with the 68 RFE transmission. Now, let's talk about single axle SRW truck versus the DRW, or the dually truck. The dually truck is called a DRW, dual rear wheel, and the single is the SRW, or single rear wheel. Okay, so if you're looking at a 3500 or a 2500, doesn't make any difference, and you're looking at the single rear wheel axle truck, then you are going to get a 342 gear set. That's just the way it comes. Doesn't come any other way. There's no option to get a 373 or a 410 or 456 or anything else like that. So the only way that you're going to get a rear end that is other than the 342 is you get a dually, and then you have to make sure that what you get is exactly what you want, because a lot of these dualies are coming with 342 rear end gear sets, or rear axle sets, whatever, however you want to call it. So that being said, you really got to be careful. Now, you might not want a 410 gear set. They drive fantastic when you're pulling extremely heavy loads, like 30,000 pounds, 31,000 pounds, something like that. And particularly if you're on back roads, I'll just call them country roads, okay, where the speed rating varies, and you get some curves, and you're up and down some small hills or something like that. Then a 410 is really good when you're towing at max weight, because you're more apt to stay in the 6th gear position. You might drop down to 5th, but you're more apt to stay in the higher gears. If you have the 342, you're going to be gearing down. You're going to be gearing down to 5th gear, to 4th gear. Your driving range with the 342 gear set and that 68 RFE transmission, if you're towing, you better be in 4th gear, because if you're not in 4th gear, you're going to smoke that transmission. 5th and 6th gears are overdrives, and a 68 RFE just cannot handle towing anything, and I'm going to say anything, in 4th or 5th gear. So don't go past, 5th and 6th gear. Don't go past 4th gear, or you will smoke that transmission. Now, drivability. Like I said, this is comparison. I owned the 2015 Dodge Ram 2500 crew cab, 4x4, 8-foot bed, gooseneck hitch, with the 68 RFE transmission and the 342 gear set. And I have a CDL license, and I towed a flatbed trailer, 40-foot gooseneck flatbed trailer, empty. And I'm here to tell you that was a hard pull. It was a very hard pull with that 342 gear set and that 68 RFE transmission. Just getting the thing to move was difficult, and that was a single rear wheel axle, an SRW. So I wasn't happy with it. I wasn't happy with how the transmission shifted and how it downshifted. I wasn't happy with the power. I end up putting a tuner on it, so I increased my power and run a tow tune. Yes, that helped. Actually, I think that really made it a necessity to do that. And even at that, it was a hard pull. So I haven't got a whole lot of good things to say about it. Yes, it weighed about 8,000 pounds. I think I was weighing in at 8,100. Now, I tow, and in the back of the truck, I have a 110-gallon fuel tank in the back of the bed with a nozzle on it. So I'm a rolling gas station. And the same was true with the 2015 Dodge Ram 2500. Now, I will say about the 2500 that I really did like. It had that coil spring suspension all the way around, and the ride quality on that was very nice. It was very nice. What I didn't care so much about it when I compare the 2500 to the 3500, the 2500 had a side-to-side movement going down the road, uneven pavement, different things like that. And I really didn't care for that because I have to go down the road with the wife, and she has a computer docked in a computer dock, and she has to log onto the server, and she has to do her work on the server. So when you have the side-to-side and side-to-side pitching or pitch and roll, it gets a little more challenging using a computer. So here I'll give you a shot of the inside of the truck and a computer dock. You can see that's our computer dock, and anyway, like I said, I have a 110-gallon tank in the back. It's full, and I got 3/4 of a tank right now. Let's see. Right now I'm running at about what was it? My weight ticket was something like 10,300 pounds, and outside of that, I'm basically empty. So that being said, what do I like about the Dodge Ram 3500? Well, the first thing I like is I like having four wheels back there, and I like the stability. It's really smooth going down the road. Of course, I will say that what I should have said to start off is it's a 2018 model. It had 6.7 liter Cummins. It has the Asin transmission, and I opted for the 373 rear gear set. The rear end ratio is a 373, not a 342. Okay, why? I wanted the better fuel economy with this 373, and I wanted the better towing ability than what the 342 had. So, and I didn't want to get hosed at the pump with the 410 gear set. A lot of my driving is running empty, except for that 100-gallon tank in the back, except when I'm towing. So this vehicle is purchased so that I could tow a 3-car wedge, a 3-car trailer for hauling cars to dealerships and so on like that. So most of its life will be on the freeway, not on the back roads. Like I said, on the back roads where you got the windy curves and the ups and downs and the varying speed limits and things like that, then the 410 gear ratio would be a very good fit. Okay, for me, this truck is on the freeway most of the time, and I'll be cruising along doing um, 70, 75 miles an hour. So my RPM ranges with the 373 gear ratio and the Asin transmission on this dually will run about 60 miles an hour, a bit over 1500 RPMs, and 65. It's running at about 1600 RPMs, I think it was, and 70 was about 1800, actually a little less. So, I like the RPM ranges. I like the fact that the transmission doesn't hunt, trying to find its speed range to operate in. I like the Asin transmission. The shift points are further apart between the gears than what the 68 RFE was, and it's just plain solid. With a 2500, I had to use my upshift downshift controls all the time, and with the 3500 with this Asin transmission, I don't have to do that. I can just drop it in gear and I'm gone. Maybe put it in tow haul mode, but most of the time I can just drop it and drive, and the ride is excellent. It's smoother, like I said, it doesn't have the pitch and roll. The RPM range is really good. What's my fuel economy? Okay, well, with my 68 RFE 2500 truck with that 342, that is in a single rear wheel SRW truck. That had some really good fuel economy. With that being deleted, I got 25.5 miles to the gallon driving between Seattle and all the way down to Medford, Oregon. Now, 25.5 miles to the gallon. It didn't make any difference how much gear I had in the back of the truck, as long as I wasn't towing. That's about what I got for my fuel economy, and it didn't make any difference how fast I was going. I'd do 75, 80 miles an hour, and my fuel economy didn't change. Now, driving my daily drive, staying within the state of Washington on the back roads, which typically 55 miles an hour, sometimes 60. I'd drop to summertime temperatures. I'd get 21 miles to the gallon, maybe 21 and a half, something like that. And in the wintertime, I'd get about 18, 19. Now, that was the 2500. That's a 68 RFE transmission and 342 gear set, four-wheel drive crew cab, long bed truck with the 6.7 liter Cummins. Now, the 3500, the 2018, it has all the emissions on the truck, so it's not going to be deleted, not for a good long time anyway. And it's got the like I say, the Asin transmission. It's got the 373 gear ratio, crew cab, 4x4, 6.7 liter Cummins, and 8-foot box. And right now I'm getting right around 17. Pretty much 17. It bounces between 16 and 17 on my daily drive, where my 2500 would get 18, maybe 19 on that same drive. So yes, I sacrificed a little bit on the fuel economy with having a dually. because you've got extra drag back there off those tires. But my ride is better. Now, a lot of people complain about dualies. They say the ride is rough, like when you're empty. Okay, so I drove this truck empty before I put the fuel tank in the back, and quite frankly, it was a good ride. But I have to say that I have the optional rear air leveling system on the back, and when they put that on there, they took a couple of the leaf springs out of the leaf spring pack on the back, and they used the auto leveling air ride in the back to raise the truck up to that 1-inch positive rake that that most of the trucks are set at, and so you're, in essence, you're running on a softer spring pack because of that, and you got the compensation of the air that's makes it really good for towing, hooking up and towing. The air system also has an alternate setting, which if you press that, it will drop the back that 1 inch and a half, so the truck will ride level. Now, a lot of people buy a Dodge, and first thing they do is they put a stack on top of the springs, and to make the body level. Most of it's aesthetics, but it does matter with towing. And what comes out better here is the air ride comes with the truck, and it does the same thing. So it levels the truck out, so it has that really nice appearance, if that's what you like. And it's supposed to make towing a little better, having a level truck as opposed to a truck with a inch and a half positive rake on the back. So what I like about the automatic air leveling, is when I park the trailer, I'll have it up to the high setting, the standard leveling on the air system, and then I'll jack the landing gear on the trailer down, and then I'll press the button and put it on alternate trailer towing setting, and the air will dump out of the air system and drop the truck approximately 1 inch, maybe a little more, and then I can just drive out on the trailer, drive out from the trailer. Now, I like that because when it comes to hooking back up, my trailer will be 1.5 inches or 1 inch higher, and I can just back right into it, and then hit the button to go to standard height, and couple the trailer, and then put it down to alternate height and drive away. So anyway, some of the things I like it, makes it really, really nice. If you're towing heavy, then the hardest thing you can do is manually jack up that trailer to decouple from the truck when it's loaded. In my case, the trailer would be about a 52 footer with 3 cars on the thing, and you just cannot hand crank that trailer when it's loaded. So unless you have electric over hydraulic jacking system on the trailer, or your fifth wheel, then all I can say is you're going to really love the automatic rear air leveling system on the Dodge truck. So anyway, that pretty much says what I think about the truck. You can go online and see what the inside looks like and all that stuff. God, that's easy, so it's kind of pointless to show you the inside of mine and all that kind of stuff. But on the ride, hands down, I'll take the dually any day with that rear air leveling system, OEM, and I'll take it any day, and only get the Asin transmission. Do yourself a favor, spend a little extra money. Anybody wants to say, oh, that 68 RFE transmission, that's a strong puller, and yeah, you can pull the weight with that, and blah 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 blah. I'm here to tell you, don't believe it. Don't believe it. You will smoke that transmission. You won't be happy with the way it shifts. It's a piece of crap, plain and simple. Get yourself the Asin transmission and be happy. Your driving will love you for it. So, and when it comes to the rear end ratio, okay, if you're looking at a single rear wheel axle, the SRW truck, then okay, you're stuck. You're going to get the 342 gear set, and that's just the way it is. And okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. It impacts your towing a bit, but it's a good gear set. Probably the best you're going to get for fuel economy. And but if you can really opt for that 373 gear ratio, I would go for that. You're going to sacrifice, a mile, maybe 2 per gallon with it. And if you're okay with that, then boy, I'd get the 373. The 410, like I said, 410 rear end. Well, I just didn't want to take that big a hit on fuel economy when I'm driving empty. It might be great pulling loads on the backcountry roads where your speed limit is going to be, who knows, 40 to 55 miles an hour. But, when I get that thing on the freeway, I want to keep my RPM range below 1800, and I want to be, cutting it out there at 70, 75 miles an hour. I want that fuel economy, and I want the drivability too. I don't want to go down the freeway doing 55 miles an hour and get my doors blown off by everybody driving a car, pickup truck, semi-truck, or a bicycle. So anyway, I like my 373 rear end. It's a lot of work to get it. I was lucky. They don't make a lot of them. Unless you're going to order the truck, where then you can get it exactly the way you want it with that gear ratio. Otherwise, do the hunt. Do the hunt. And don't go to a dealer and have the dealer say, oh, I'll go get that for you. Don't do that. Don't do that. They're only going to go out about 700 miles, and that's it. Well, save yourself the trouble. I'd drive the 700 miles and go to the dealer that's got it. And if you do that, chances are you can get a bigger discount off of buying it from them, because, they want to move the vehicle off their lot. Well, the dealer's going to get it for you. He's not going to cut you any special discounts because he's got to get it off the lot. He's already got it off the lot. You're going to have to sign that contract before he'll go get it. And the other thing is the other dealer that has the truck, well, he's not going to cut that truck out of there without making a profit, because, the other dealer's coming to get it. Of course, he's going to make his profit. So everybody's going to be making a profit off of you. Do yourself a favor. You go find the dealer that has that truck configured exactly the way you want it, and then you go there to buy it and negotiate the price down. And that's the only way to do it. And if you live in a non-tax state like Oregon, like I do, save yourself the tax. And if you're going to Washington State that has almost 10%, if you're an Oregon resident, you just show your credentials, your driver's license, and the other pieces of identification that they want to see, and you can get that truck at no tax too. And then you're going to drive it out of there with a trip permit, and then go down to your local DMV and register the thing, and save yourself the tax. So, but the moral of this is, don't have a dealer go get a truck for you. That's BS. If that truck is sitting in another dealership, go to that dealership and buy it. That's the best way to do it, because it's only going to be a maximum of 700 miles, because the dealers aren't going to go any further than that to go get anybody's truck. So anyway, that's my opinion. Enjoy.